A young woman has survived most people's worst nightmare. Now she fights to keep the same thing from happening to others. She tells NBC 10's Randall Newsom her life began the night she almost died.
Jakare Fakunda is a young woman on a journey. Judging by her smile today, you couldn't imagine the pain she's endured along the way. It was just 4 years ago, while only a sophomore at Grambling State University, her high school sweetheart tried to kill her. Someone she thought she knew.
We had been together for about 5.5 years.
But Jakare decided that she and her boyfriend were beginning to grow apart. She wanted to break up.
I saw myself going in one direction, trying to create a bright future for myself, and I really didn't see him following in that same path.
So she invited him to her family's home in Shreveport to break the news.
We had been together for a while, so he was close to my friends and my family.
She says he didn't take it any harder than she expected.
And he invited me out, and that's when he was like, hey, let's go for a walk. And that was normal.
He wanted to have one last conversation.
He just wanted to talk about the relationship. He's like, just give me a chance. Let me explain some things. Let me talk to you.
So they took a walk they had taken many times before, a lap around the neighborhood.
So at this point of the walk, his demeanor, how is he to you?
He was calm.
He tried to change her mind, but she wouldn't budge.
He was like, you need to listen to me. You need to treat me like a man. How are you gonna do this to me? You can't leave me. I remember he asked me to turn off and go in this direction towards that street. And it was really odd because it was dark, but there aren't any street lights.
Suddenly she noticed a change in his behavior.
And I couldn't really put my finger on it. It was just my intuition was kind of like, now I'm a little worried.
Something was off.
He's talking and he's in front of me, and so I can hear the things that he's saying, but I was like, what's wrong with you?
What happened next? Something she'll never forget.
He turned around, he said, nothing, I love you. And that's when he pulled the knife out and stabbed me.
She tried to run, but she couldn't get away. He stabbed her over and over.
I couldn't feel every single wound, because it was happening. But I remember those first two to my stomach took out my kidney down here. So it ripped through my liver. And
the only thing she remembers more than the pain was the shock.
Don't do this. Why are you doing this? Why me? No matter what I said on this walk, he already had the idea. He already had made up his mind that this is what he was going to do.
But his final act let her know he wanted her dead.
He was on the ground with me, and that's when he stabbed me in my head. And I could actually hear it.
Still alive, she had only one chance to stay that way.
It already clicked in my mind that I needed to play dead. At this point, my face was kind of turned, so I was able to look and see if he was still there without him noticing.
Bleeding and battered, she gathered the strength to get up.
I felt really weak, and I remember just like putting one foot in front of the other. Pain is really, really hitting me now, and it was, I can't even begin to describe it.
She tried knocking on neighbors' doors, but no one answered her cries.
Feeling weaker with every step.
She's beginning to lose hope.
Somebody's gonna find me in the morning, I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna be murdered by this man that I loved, that I trusted.
She couldn't keep going.
That's where my body just had enough. I just fell out right about here, and I was just crying and screaming.
But from across the street, someone did hear.
I wasn't supposed to even be here. I was actually sitting on my patio. I heard a loud noise, scream.
She didn't know how serious Jakare's injuries were until she saw them with her own eyes.
Came out and saw her lying about in this spot. She'd been stabbed. She told me she'd been stabbed.
She had to stay composed.
I was calm, and it was pretty hard, but I was calm.
But on the inside,
there was so many emotions, so many feelings. I was angry because I'm thinking this is somebody's child.
I remember I just kept saying his name over and over again.
The name of her attacker, just in case she didn't make it.
I remember saying plenty of times, I'm about to die, because I really felt it. I felt myself getting short on air.
At that point, my heart started to race. Noticed her breathing pattern started to change. And she kept saying, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And I kept saying, no, you're not. You're gonna make it.
As Jakare laid here, barely hanging on to life and surrounded by her neighbors, she heard a familiar voice that put her back in a state of fear. The voice of Adam Martin.
I heard someone say, man, who are you? And he says his name. And I was just like so frantic. It's like that just like woke me up.
He was just cold. Because if somebody that you love is hurt or harmed, it's no way that you're not going to come and see about him.
By this time, Lakeisha knew exactly who he was and quickly told police.
First thing the police officer asked was, who was he? Said his full name, and that's him right there. PTSD is real. Anxiety is real.
Martin was convicted and sentenced to 80 years in 2015 for nearly killing Jacaire. She would spend a month in the hospital undergoing 5 surgeries. More importantly, her peace of mind.
I didn't even know what a panic attack was, and I was washing dishes and I saw a knife, and it was in real life in someone's hand, and the next thing I knew, I was waking up.
But thanks to the worst night of her life, she has another person in her corner fighting with her.
If you didn't know that story, you would think we've been friends forever and a day.
It's been wonderful to have a sister, guardian angel, my earth angel.
I gave her my word. I'm gonna protect you, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability.
She didn't break her promise, on that night, and she hasn't since then.
A dark night that gave her physical and mental scars, but as a survivor, she's also been given a gift.
It changed my whole outlook on life. It made me just want to get up and live.
A platform to help other victims trying to break free.
There are things happening every day, on college campuses, in our communities, and I really want to be a part of the change. There is a love out there that won't hurt you. There is a love out there that will not degrade you.
She's in a new relationship.
Thank God that I found love after that, somebody from my childhood, somebody who was there for me every step of the way.
After some time off from school, she's back, set to graduate in fall 2019 and claim her degree in psychology.
She's getting ready to graduate, and I'm gonna be there with bells on, a t-shirt, hat.
Every day, she finds a way to climb out of the darkness.
I see a bunch of light.
And now more than ever, she plans to let that light shine. Reporting, Randall Newsom, NBC 10, your local news leader.
For more information on her nonprofit, the Jacaire Fecunda Fight for Your Life Foundation, visit our website, marklemis.com.